All right, so I thought I'd make a short video here of a boom sprayer build that I did for my ATV. I've got some hunting acreage that I have a trail system through, and I like to keep it nice. I've had a tractor in the past years, but I was really only using the tractor for that. And so I decided to sell it, and this year just set this up and keep the trail sprayed. So this is a really quick and really cheap way to do it. So I don't even have $20 invested in this. Now, some of this stuff I had here at the house already. So, it could cost a little more than that if you don't have some stuff laying around. So first I'll show you how I kind of made the frame to hold this thing. So right over here, pull this out. So this is just some scrap lumber that I had around here. And I just drilled a little hole through it. And in the UTV in each corner in this square tubing metal, it's hollow. And so this little piece on each side just slides right down in there, okay? And then I took some 1x2s that I had laying around, and I just, drilled a hole, the same size through that. And I did that in two places. Bring it down here so you can see the other one. There's the other one there. And that way I have a spot to attach at the front and the back of the bed of the UTV. So I did that, and then I just got some of these basic pins, which again had these laying around. So, a lot of this, if you didn't have laying around, you're gonna have to buy it. It's gonna be a little more than what I had to pay. So I just take these pins here in the boards, I just set them up on here, and it's pretty easy. Just slide your pin through and clip it in. That one's in. This one in. That one's on. So, it's nothing fancy, but it holds down here and here and back here. I don't know if you can see that, but this is where we'll rest. I'll get a different view of that. So let me slip the frame in on the other side, and then we'll go on to the boom sprayer part itself. Okay, so for the boom sprayer part itself, you've got your hose coming off of your sprayer. This is just your standard one that comes off, when you buy your sprayer tank. And what I did is, I'll show you these parts I got here. My little helper, did you take my parts?
What?
So I'll link to these in the comments, so these were just on Amazon, and they're a spray nozzle. It's got a T, so you can run some tubing into each side, and then your sprayer comes out there. So what I did is, they make some of these T's that don't have the spray nozzle on it like this. So it's just like a three-way T. So I got one of those as well. And then I just took this hose here. You can see that good. And I just slid it onto that T and then hose clamped it on, okay? And then I can go either way from that. So what I'm doing now is adding some of these spray nozzles. You can see I've got this boom sprayer set up here, but I tested it and they're a little far apart, so I'm going to add one in between, and I thought that that would give me an opportunity to show you exactly how I did that. So I'll link to these for Amazon, and then there's tubing that you can order off Amazon. It's like 100 foot for $9 or $10 or $11, very cheap. These are a bag of these, 25 of them for $9. These are really all I bought from Amazon, and then they make tubing specifically for these that slides on a little easier. But I bought this just this vinyl stuff from my local hardware store. I didn't need 100 foot. I went down there and it's like, I don't know, 70 cents a foot, and I needed like 6 foot of it, so I just picked it up cheap there. And it is a little small for these, but I kind of like that. I did that on purpose. And let me just show you exactly how I'm attaching those on to make it to where they're not leaking, and you don't need a clamp or a zip tie or anything to make those not leak. Okay, so to do it, you're going to need a heat gun and something to cut your tubing with. So I'm just going to try to show you this here, what I'm doing with this. So I'm going to go right here between two of these nozzles. So we got a nozzle here, and we've got a nozzle here that's a spray nozzle. And I want to go right in the middle. So I'm just going to go right in there, and I'm going to cut this tubing. And then you just need to heat this tubing with the heat gun for about 30 seconds or so. If you try, so this comes with these things screw just right onto there. And they're really, if you buy the tubing that comes with it, you're supposed to slide it on, and then these go back on and tighten it down. I just get rid of these because I just don't need them. And they don't really fit and work well with what I'm doing with this tubing here. So I take those off and I just make that look like that. So you could see if I try to just slide this tubing on here, it just isn't happening. Again, I don't know. Try to zoom in a little bit for you here. Oh, let me zoom in no more. So going to try to get that a little closer for you, but it's just this small clear tubing, and these things are just not going to fit on there like that. So I'm just going to take my heat gun here and just going to heat it here for 30 seconds or so. Okay, that should do it. Let's see here. So once I've heated that, I'm gonna put my piece on, and you still have to give it some effort. Of course, the hotter you heat it, the easier it goes, but I just kind of like to heat it enough to get it done. I know you can't really see what I'm doing that well there, but there it is. So I just slid that all the way on there snug, and of course it's hot, it's melted, so now it's going to cool down, and when it cools down it just seals in there. So show you really quick here. So you can see there that this tubing is on there really snug. So then I'm just going to do the same thing for the other side, and then that will take care of every place that I need to go. That's what I'm going to do. So so I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll end up with 10 of these nozzles, and I think it'll cover I'll show you my test when I'm done with that, because it wouldn't cover, you know, it was leaving areas that weren't getting sprayed. And if I adjust the nozzles where it sprays wider, then I can cover, but I'm gonna have to drive so slow because of how it's just kind of misting. I want a more steady stream coming out so I can move along pretty good. And then, you know, I just use a wooden dowel that I had laying here, and then I just zip tied this tubing to the wooden dowel, and then I can tighten these down, and, you know, I can take these nozzles, aim them how I want, give it a little tighter. Once I get them all on there, they'll stay with the zip ties. I'm actually thinking about going to some Velcro straps instead of the zip ties, but I just haven't done that yet. So the tubing I'm just zip tying to the dowel rod, and then I will show you I'm taking some straps and I'm attaching this dowel rod to the 1x2 framing with the straps. So give me just a second, grab those straps, and I'll show you exactly what that looks like. All right, so here's what I've got. Just these little bungees with the ball on the end, and they really, just such a simple thing, but they really do work. I'll show you. I just come over here and basically just wrap them twice around this frame and the pole, and it's pretty tight, but you know, that's really what we want. So, and there it is. So that ain't coming off there. You know, I'm going to be hitting some bumps and stuff while I'm out riding, but you can see that. Come down here with it for you. So there it is. It's all tight on there with the bungee. So I do that to both sides, and then I'm ready to ride. So again, this is a very DIY, cheap, non-professional, redneck ATV boom sprayer. So I'm going to finish up getting all these spray nozzles connected in how I want. I'll get some water in the tank so I can run a test there. And then I'll come back on and show you this thing operating once I get done with that stuff. And if you have questions, just throw them in the comment section, and I'll be glad to answer anything that I can. Just thought this might be helpful. I'd seen some other boom sprayer builds on YouTube, but not really for an ATV setup like this. So I just thought this might help somebody out. So I'll come back on and show you this thing in operation once I get it up and going. All right, so I got it all fixed up. I got all my spray nozzles in there. I've got 9 of them in there now. Got more zip ties on to position them how I want, and I'm gonna fire this thing up. I'll grab the phone once I do that and take it closer so you can see better the coverage of the spray on the ground. All right, so it's up and going. You could see, hopefully, pretty immediately. I've got full coverage just as soon as it started going. I got full coverage on the ground there, so it's coming out. It's working just like I hoped. And I should be able to drive along at a pretty good rate and get some spraying done. So that's how it works. Hopefully this helps somebody. God bless.